Welcome back to Morning Line on this Monday, everyone. Nick Beres here along with Tim Takacs, elder law attorney, taking your phone calls. If you're on hold, Betty and others, stay there. The number 737-7587. Just wanted to finish your thought on the IRS. All right, we were talking about just taxes, the IRS contacting you through mail. You've had clients before who have said that they've gotten some of these bogus calls from folks trying to take them. I've had people that have called me with story ideas where they said they've applied for their return and someone had already gotten it for them.
For the refund,
the refund. Yeah. So you're just saying, and the advice you give folks is if you're hearing from the IRS, it's going to be by mail.
By mail, right. And then you can contact them
to confirm, because even some of the scams can come to you by mail as well.
Right.
But just be wary of that.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Right.
It's just important to remember.
And if you do get contacted, you know, by, let's say by phone from someone saying that they are the IRS, you know, then it's a good idea to report that.
Yeah.
You know, you can call the IRS or, you know, and say, because that you know, obviously they're aware of that, you know, and you know the IRS puts out like a top 10 scams every year.
And there's a bunch.
You know, and there's a bunch of them. You know, and that's one of the.
But you get a call from the IRS, it gets your attention, so you assume it's right, and that's what these crooks know going in.
Exactly.
Let's go to Betty. Good morning, Betty.
Good morning.
Hi there, Betty. How can we help you?
I was going to ask about the revocable living trust again.
Okay.
If you have one of those and you have to go in a nursing home, can the state come back and take your assets with a living trust, if you have a living trust?
Okay,
I guess she wants to know if it provides any protection from that.
It does, and it does not. Okay, and let's talk about that, because that's a good way for us to maybe segue into what kind of planning that is.
Okay.
All right. We talked about a revocable living trust as where someone basically puts their assets into a trust. And when we say put it into a trust, it's not like a box, or it's not like someplace in outer Mongolia. You know,
it's a contract.
Yeah, it's a contract where you have a contract with a person that is holding, managing, and distributing those assets in a way that you instruct them to in this document.
All right.
And revocable, all that means is that if you change your mind or you want to change or amend the terms of your trust, you know, you can.
Okay.
You know, it's probate avoidance. It's just like almost like having a will, but you don't have to go through probate. And there's some other benefits of it, from, let's say, if you became disabled or incapacitated, you know, your successor trustee can step in and manage your assets.
But there's no way, though, her question.
It is not, it's not going to protect the assets, because if she can get those assets back, you know, then the nursing home and Medicaid says, well, those are still your assets.
Right. Okay.
Is really what that means.
All right.
Okay, and since she's the beneficiary of her own trust, she can get those assets back, you know, then she still has full control over what happens to that money and property. That's what that means. Now, if she wants to protect her assets in case if she's worried about nursing home care, then she either gives them away, which is like not a good thing typically, right?
And
we've talked about that too. It's like, oh my gosh, don't do that.
Because I want to ask, I mean, let me ask Betty, is that what your concern is, trying to protect these assets if you're in a nursing home?
Yes.
Okay, and so you heard what Tim said. It won't protect it in that way. I mean, so what's your situation? You have some money and you're concerned it's going to go, and are you looking for another option?
I have a home and, yes, and some money, yes.
Okay. So, listen up. Now, as you just said, one of her options, which you've said is not a good idea, is to give it away.
Right, because the idea there is like one of my elder care coordinators said one day, it says, don't let the nursing home impoverish you, just impoverish yourself.
That's how
right?
So she's just
give it to your kids. And
who
are the most unreliable people on the planet?
Are your kids really? I suppose?
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean they're dishonest and are going to try to harm you.
But it just means that they have their own, you know, their needs and interests. And if you think that your children, I'm going to give you my money and property and you can hold it for me. So if I go to the nursing home, then it's safe. You know, but if I ever need it, you know, I'm going to come to you and you're going to give it to me, right? Oh yeah, Mom, right. You know, and then you go to your children. You know, then you go to your children and you say, well, you know, Mom, you know, or, you know, daughter, you know, I need $10,000 or I want $10,000. And you know what your child's going to say? What do you want it for? right?
Yep, that's the first question they're going to ask.
Right. You know, and then you'll realize that it's not your money anymore.
It's a great example, and and this
And
may
that
be
happens.
because I'm just trying to put
What do you
myself
want?
in.
What do you want
someone's shoes like
$10,000
that.
for, Mom? You know,
yeah.
Who walked into the door? You know, to take. You know, well, you know.
Well, whatever it is, it's her
Exactly.
money. If she wants to blow it, it's her choice to blow it.
I guess, yeah, but
Right.
that's the whole point is that people think that, you know, and then you've got children that go, and they have children, and they have grandchildren, and somebody's going to get sick, you know, and it's like, well, I'm sitting here on $50,000, you know, and my little boy has to have an operation.
Well, go ask Mom if she's okay with it.
Right, exactly.
And if she's not, little boy doesn't get the operation. But what do you think Mom's going to say?
Exactly.
So, all right, what's
Right.
the other option besides giving it away then?
You transfer, you know, let's say you put it into an irrevocable trust.
Okay.
So let's say that
So
you,
she could do this.
So
All
she
right.
could do that. So she, you know, an irrevocable means once it goes in there, Betty can't just go to the son or daughter and say, I want my money back. You know, they have to consent.
Okay.
Okay. You
Wasn't
know,
that kind of like giving it away? And
it is, but at least what happens is that if it's being held in a trust, see, bad things happen to children. See, children
Oh,
worry
sure.
about, oh, well, you know, or our clients worry about, well, I'm going to go to the nursing home someday, so I need to give my money and my property to my kids. Oh, well, we'll hold it, Mom. You know, and here's these children, so you got 2 or 3 children that are owning the house, and of course they have spouses, right?
Right.
And they have children, so now we've magnified the risk, right?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff, you know, because, you know, then a child dies, you know, and then that money goes to somebody else, and then suddenly the money's gone.
So the trust then stipulates
So
if something bad happens to the children, who the next,
who the next trustee
will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and
All right, so
that's
for
that's
Betty
what we
then-
think is doing it the right way.
So if Betty wants to, now will that then assist her in protecting the asset from, like,
So let's say
she
the
was
nursing
saying?
home
Yeah.
or her creditors or whatever. Now, what she gives up,
Right.
you know, I mean, obviously you don't just get this and like, great, I can go to the nursing home and have all my money and my property in the trust too.
Right.
She has to give something up, and she
Right.
gives up 2 things.
Okay.
One is that when she transfers that money and property to that trust, that irrevocable trust, it starts a 5-year Medicaid look-back period.
Okay.
So if she needs nursing home care or extended long-term care and she wants the state to pay for it, she's got to wait 5 years from the time that she put it into the trust or transferred it to the trust.
Okay.
You know, and Betty might say, okay, maybe I'll accept that. Maybe I'll accept that. But she has to say, and the second thing she gives up is control.
Control. Right. Well, and I
Yeah.
understand that. You know,
Yeah.
what I always get, Tim, and I understand as you get older and what Betty's looking at and protecting it, but the whole idea is nursing home, I mean, it's not like it's made to just be free to you
Absolutely.
and the government picking up. So if you have assets,
Right.
you know, I always wonder about people like, well, I don't want to go to the nursing home and lose all my assets that I'm going to give them. Well, wait a second.
Right.
What, you just want nursing home care for free? I
Right.
mean, and I
Yeah.
know that some people that are, you know, in the financial straits get it, you know, through
Right.
Medicare, but you're supposed to pay some through. So I understand why she has to have that 5-year wait. You know,
Right.
Which means you can't just go straight into the nursing home right off the bat and say, "Oh, I'm free and clear. I gave it away. Haha, you can't have that money."
Right. And when you think
who
about
picks up the tab? The
Sure.
taxpayer does,
Yeah, we
by the
do.
way.
Yeah, and when you think about it, is that I mean, I have people that walk in my office all the time, healthy older people. You know, and they say, "Well, I'm worried about the nursing home." You know, I say, "Well, the only way you can do that, of really avoid that, is losing your money to the nursing home, is not have it." Well, so how do I do that? Well, you give it to your children, which you don't recommend, or we transfer it to a trust. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, you're going to start a 5-year clock. Well, they'll go, well, I'm healthy now, but what else does it mean? It means you give up control. Excuse me?
And they don't like that.
Yeah.
And when you say give up control, does that necessarily mean that,
means
you
that-
can't use it? I mean, you have to run what you want to do with that money by.
Right, you go to your, you say you
Trustees.
go to the trustee who is your son or your daughter, and you say, I need money from the trust, you know, and since the...
They're going to ask the same question if you just gave them the money without a trust.
Right.
What for?
Right. Since the parent, exactly, since the parent can't be the beneficiary of that trust, you know, then the children are the beneficiary, so the money would come out to the children, who then would turn around and give it to mom.
I gotcha.
You know, there's nothing wrongful or illegal about that, but the parent can't be the beneficiary of their own trust. So they have to rely upon hope that the children do the right thing in distributing the money out. So if they want to do that, then it's like, okay, here's what you give up.
Do you find when you deal with these trusts that at some point they go in with the best intentions, but eventually these children start looking at the money as theirs instead of mom or dad's, and that if the mom or dad really say, hey, look, I want to go on this dream vacation, and it's going to take half the money out of there, and the kid's looking at this and they're thinking that it's theirs now more than mom and dad's? I'm just wondering, psychologically, what have you noticed?
Not usually in my office, because remember, the people that are coming into my office want to do it the right way.
You're right.
They feel like that, and sometimes we have to say is, look, when that money has been sitting in that trust for 6 or 7 years and now mom goes to the nursing home, the children often still think that that's mom's money. And we say, look, that's not mom's money. Don't go to Medicaid and say, well, I've got money sitting there aside for mom, because
you've been over that 5-year period. It's their money.
It's protected for mom.
Yeah.
So if mom needs something, supplemental needs in the nursing home, that's what we're going to use that money for.
Okay.
So that's typically the mindset of the people that are coming into our office.
Yeah. But
our concern is that there are basically two things for people who are trustees. One is that they don't understand how the trust operates. So we spend a lot of time educating our clients and families on how the trust works, so it's done the right way.
Okay.
And then the second thing that we're concerned about is that they won't use the trust money for mom. They're so worried that if they do something with the trust that's wrong, they're going to get in trouble somehow. So we try to spend a lot of time educating them is that, okay, if you want to get money out of the trust for mom, just call us and we'll help you. We'll tell you how to do it the right way.
All right, we're going to take a break on that note. Back with our final segment with Tim. More of your calls right after this. Stay with us.